Hi guys. Something I wanted to talk about in this video is something that's been lifelong for me. And I wanted to share this with you because it's even something that I don't understand, but it is the truth. And by no means, this is not a video to put myself down or anything like that. And I don't believe what others say regarding the matter, but I just wanted to let you guys know that this is something I have gotten all my life and continue to still get it to this day. This is something that began when I was very little, and it continued all the way through school, and it continued with uh, anybody that I ever was around. If someone got to know me, it was something that I would find out either right off the bat or much later. And but I believe it was because they didn't see a side of me that I knew about. And it's something that I got at jobs too, a lot. But what I wanted to talk about is the things that I do. I don't know how I do what I do. I have had so many people in my lifetime, including teachers, employers, friends, you name it. Lots and lots of people that I've interacted with in my life. I've had lots and lots of people tell me that I'm stupid. They believe and think I'm stupid. I've had lots of teachers in school tell me this. And they even put me in special ed later on in school and special education because I could not grasp the things that I was being taught, nor was I interested in it. I didn't care to learn anything in school, and I could not grasp what they were teaching me. And to this day, I can still watch videos on something and I come away just as confused as before I watched it. I have no idea what they're talking about. Throughout the years, I've watched lots of videos on engines and how engines work, and I still can't tell you how an engine works. Yet I can take a small engine, tear it all apart, put it back together again, and get the thing running and then tune it just by listening to it. But I cannot explain to you how an engine works at all. I have no understanding of how an engine works. I cannot explain to you how a carburetor works, regardless if it's on an automobile or on a rototiller. I have no idea how a carburetor works. I can take them apart, clean them, put them back together, and then fine tune it. But what's going on in that carburetor as the engine is running, I have absolutely no clue. None. And this is just the truth. And the only reason why I'm making this video is because I believe in truth and honesty, but I wanted to explain something in this video is that the information and the know-how of all the things that I know how to do in my life come from somewhere else. I can't explain it. I don't know how it works. I do things much different than other people because of this quote unquote handicapped. Because when people explain things to me in simple terms, my mind don't grasp it. And I remember one day, uh, my boss got very mad, very, very mad at me because one day there was a screw up on a job that he sent me to do by myself, and there was a row of arborvitae from the road going straight down the property line. So there was 5 of them, and it started right at the road and went straight back on the one side of the house on the property line. And my boss drove up with me in the car to show me. He never got out. He says, remove the last one and replace it with a new one. And then we drove away and we went back to the sales lot. I loaded the arborvitae, the new arborvitae, up in the truck, and I returned back to the job to go do what he told me to do. And I removed the last one. Well, to him, the last one was the first one out to the road, and going towards the lake was the first one. Well, not to me. When you pull up in front of a place, the front is the front and the back is the back. So I took out the back one and replaced it. And he asked me, he says, this don't look like the one that I had in mind for you to replace. He says, which one was it? I said, it was the one down towards the lake. He says, no, no, no. And he got all mad and everything. So I says, well, I'll just go back and, put it back in and replace the other one because it's not going to kill it. He was extremely pissed off at me. And so I went back down below the shop, which was down underneath. It was in a basement. And I started getting materials together to go back to this job. And I heard his wife say to him when she came into the front end of the barn, she says, you have to be very, very specific with Kevin. She says he's slow. And I'll never forget that when I heard that, because that's like what teachers would say to me in school. I've actually had teachers that would come straight out and say, my God, you are so stupid. When they would try to school me and work with me in school, especially when it came to math. So anyway, I corrected the job and then it was no big deal. It was not a big deal. And the plants all survived and there was no issues at all. It was just a mistake. But to me, the front of the house is the front and going towards the lake is the back of the house. So when you say the last one, that's going away from the front. That's just how I perceive things. And so all my life, I've had people tell me that I'm stupid, but it's just because I look at things differently than other people do. Some people would maybe look at that row and say, no, that would have been the first one, and going towards the road would have been the last one. Well, that's, if I'm showing up in the front, that's the first one. And then, so that's why people would think of me the way that they do, because I think different. But a lot of people know that I don't grasp and understand math. And I'm not embarrassed to admit this or say this because it's just the truth. And I don't understand simple math. And when people talk about simple math, they're talking about equations that are to them are simple, but to me are like the most complex things in the world. And I wouldn't be able to tell you what 6 times 9 is. I don't know. What is 7 times 7? What is 8 times 6? I couldn't give you the answer without using a calculator. I do not know how to divide. I do not know how to do crazy math equations. I can barely do simple math. And for years, I had my banking all screwed up until I threw my checkbook away because I could not balance a checkbook. And the girl at the bank asked me, she says, you don't, because I showed her that I kept having these different balances than what was in my account. And I says, why doesn't any? She says, you got to balance your checkbook. And I told her, I says, I don't know how to do that. I've had people explain it to me and it does not absorb. I cannot grasp how to do that. When it comes to math, I don't understand. I can't even read a tape measure. I can't read a tape measure, but yet I can build stuff. I build furniture, tables. There's this one's green with the wood top. And this one is black with a wood top, and they're identical, absolutely identical tables. And so I can build furniture. I can build carts, arbors and trellises and campers and all kinds of stuff. I could even build a house, but I can't read a tape measure. If you told me on a tape measure, find me 3/16 of an inch, I wouldn't be able to do it. 5/8, I wouldn't be able to do it. People have tried to explain the tape measure to me and I just don't get it. I don't understand it. So what is simple to some people, to me, my mind just doesn't compute it. It just does not get it. Just like when I do engines, I have no idea how an engine works, but yet I can tear one apart, put it back together, and it will run. You guys have seen me take machines that wouldn't even start, they wouldn't even run, and I can rebuild them and fine tune them and have them idle perfectly and then restore the whole machine and then sell it on Craigslist. But I can't tell you how the engine works or a carburetor. I can't read a tape measure, but I can build all kinds of stuff. I can't balance a checkbook, but I can keep track of my balance by logging into my bank account and just checking it and then writing it down. And then if I have to subtract something from it, I use a calculator. I cannot balance a checkbook. There's so much that I don't understand. Even to driving a vehicle, I could not tell you how a transmission works, manual or automatic. I have no idea how, when a vehicle starts up, it does what it does. And all I know is just put it in gear and you drive it. I don't know any more about an engine or a transmission than a 16-year-old girl would. I have no idea. I don't know what push rods do. I don't know what rocker arms and all that stuff is for. I know what they're called, but how it all operates, I have no idea. But yet I can work on it. But when I don't understand something, the ideas come to me. Just like when people every day people buy downloads from me. I have several of them on different builds that I've done regarding my campers, my truck cap pop-up, different things that I've done, bed risers, various PDF downloads for bed risers in different campers. And people get a hold of me and they say, this is the download that I'm buying, and this is why I need it, because I want to build the same camper you did. Even though there's a video on how I built it, they need it on paper. They need to print it out. They need the instructions. Me, I do it the opposite way. I build something without the instructions, then I make the instructions on how to build it. I do it the opposite way. See, they need the instructions to produce the product. I produce the product and then produce the instructions. I don't need instructions on how to do something. The stuff that I know how to do, from drawing, playing guitar, building, mechanics, everything comes to me from somewhere else. Just like when I'm able to see things into the future and then it comes true, it comes from somewhere else. I'm just a vessel. I'm just like a conduit. It comes through my mind and then out of me. I'm just the connection. But where it comes from, I don't know, because there's more in my life that I don't understand than that which I do. There's lots that I don't know. I have no idea. People would say to me all the time when I would get done doing something, they'd be like, how in the hell did you do that? Where did you learn to do that? And I says, I didn't learn it. I just did it. I would just do it. Honest to God, you guys, I would just, one day I'd get an idea. Most of my ideas come to me at night. The information is like downloaded at night. I could be up until like 2 o'clock in the morning with pain and unable to sleep. And all of a sudden something will come into my mind. And it's like, holy crap, that's genius. I couldn't think of that on my own. It comes in like a download and then it teaches me how to do it step by step. Do it like this. Make it this way. I don't know where it comes from. But yeah, you'd think you'd need to read a tape measure to build something. But when I build stuff like this, it's identical. These two tables are identical. You could take a tape measure to the width, the length, the height, all of it. They're exactly the same. And I can't read a tape measure at all. My campers, you could measure down the left side of the camper and then compare it to the right, and they're identical. All the measurements are exactly correct. And I can't read a tape measure. So it never bothered me when people would tell me, you're stupid, because I never believed them. It's just, well, I do things differently. I don't need your stupid math. I can figure it out differently. And I've had people try to teach me math, and you guys, I can't comprehend it. Even simple, basic grade school math, I can't comprehend it. I don't even know the difference between a verb, a pronoun, an adjective. I don't know to this day at 50 years old. I don't know what those are. If someone said, what is an adjective? I wouldn't be able to answer the question. What is a pronoun? I don't know. People have explained it to me and it makes no sense to me. It's like, how could a word or a sentence be called something different than another sentence or a word? It's like, what makes it different? Why does it have to be different? Who cares if it's a noun or a verb? I know how to speak. I know how to write. I don't need to know what it's called. But to this day, I don't know what those things are, because all through school, I could not grasp anything. And so I quit school at the age of 15. And I just said, this isn't working for me. I need to go out on my own, because I only can understand things the way that I understand things. I'm not somebody that can be taught something. I don't need somebody to teach me something. I will already know how to do it all on my own way. Because when people try to teach me something, to me, it makes less sense than if I did it on my own and did it a different way. And it's like that seems better than what you just taught me. My way seems better. And so I've always just kept my mouth shut and went about life my own way, doing it my way. And then the compliments I would get afterwards, people were like, holy crap, you did a hell of a job on that. And it's like, well, that's just my way. Nobody taught me that. I didn't learn it. It's just something that just came natural. I don't know how. It's like even when I would talk to people when I was in healthcare, after I did everything for them and I had like 15 minutes before my shift ended, I'd sit down and talk with them at a table. And then I've had many of them ask me, well, how many years of college do you have? Because you seem pretty smart. And it's like, I only went to college for like a couple months before they kicked me off campus because they had no record of me being there. So, and they were like shocked by that. But it's like, why would you even think that? I'm just talking to you. It's like, to me, it doesn't mean anything to me. It's like I can talk to anybody about anything, about any topic, and just throw in my 2 cents. And then people like think that I'm educated over that. And it's like, why do they even think that? To me, I don't see it that way. I don't look at it that way. How I talk, what I do, what I create. It just is what it is. I just do what I do. So what? Doesn't mean that you have to have like a degree in something. I'd blow your guys' minds if I had the ability behind me to create all the things that are in my head. You guys wouldn't believe the crap I'd come up with because all this stuff comes to me in the night. I've got so many inventions that could possibly change the world, but because I don't have the money to make it a reality or investors to have it go to market, there's nothing I can do with it. But there's inventions out there that I have that would just be phenomenal. And I have no idea where these ideas come from. They come from somewhere else. So no, it don't bother me when people think I'm stupid because my friend George thinks I'm dumb. My landlord thinks I'm stupid. That's been proven to me many, many, many times. And lots of people have said that and thought that and think that. And that's fine with me because it's like, yeah, but you don't know that I can do things that you can't. Because I can take something and figure it out all on my own by myself. Just like the drawing, I don't know where that came from. Playing guitar, I don't know where that came from. There's other instruments I can play. I can play on a drum set. No one taught me how to play drums, but I can sit down and jam on a drum set. I one time sat down at a piano and played a song that was my own song that I thought up, and I still to this day I can play it. It's only one song, but I can play it on a piano. I don't know where that comes from. But so that's one reason why I hated school is because so many teachers would tell me that and everything. It's like, you know what? I don't need this crap. You guys are trying to teach me stuff I cannot understand. I don't grasp it. I can't wrap my mind around it. I don't understand math. I hate math. I don't want to ever deal with it. Everything that I would build would just be in straight inches. If I don't get into all those other extra lines on the tape measure. And if something that was on the camper that was over and it was like 3 or 4 lines, I just put my thumbnail there and I'd say, okay, I got to cut this board four more lines, whether if they were short or longer. It's just like I counted all 4. It's like I got to cut them 4 past this rounded off measurement. So if it was like 8 feet and 4 more little lines, and I just say it's 8 feet and 4 more little lines, and then I draw with the pencil right where that 4th little line was after 8 feet. That's how I build stuff because I don't understand measurements at all anymore, and I can balance a checkbook. So I got rid of a checkbook and checks and all of it combined. It's like I don't understand it and I don't want to do this. So, and then I went to my own system, and since I went to my own system, there has not been a problem since because I always have my own system for everything, my way. And my way works much better than what everyone else tried to teach me to do it their way. It's like, yeah, but my way's better. I like my way. It works. It works great. So I stick with my own methods. Regardless of how all the other masses out there do stuff, I do it my way because to me, it's what I understand. To me, it's what's simple. To me, it makes sense. Their way don't make sense to me. And not saying that it don't make sense, it just don't make sense to me. It's like there's systems out there that other people can use in their lives and it works for them. It don't work for me. I'm on a different level somewhere. Not saying I'm smarter or dumber. It's just different. I just use different systems and it works for me. And as long as it works, like they say, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Fine, I get through life like that. But I've always gotten through my life like that. I don't even have a GED. I had to tell a white lie to my boss to even get into landscaping that I had a GED, hoping to God they would never check. Because if they did, they might have fired me. But then after they saw the work that I did, I don't even think it would have mattered, because they had many letters coming from customers with their payment saying, my God, this guy did a beautiful job on my property. And if I ever need more landscaping again, please send him. And yet it was all done my way, doing it the way I know how to do it. Just like when I built the fountain up there at the Midway State Park, I took charge. That was the first job, and I wanted to impress my boss so they would hire me. I took charge and I did everything the way that she envisioned it to be done. Because at the time, my boss's wife was up there overlooking the job. And so that's just how I've gotten through life. Take the bull by the horns and just do the damn job, but do it good, really good. If you build something, build it great, and so that's what I've always tried to do. So when people tell me that I'm stupid, I don't give a damn about that. But then I also have people on my videos that say, I really like you, Kev. I like your videos. You seem very intelligent. It's like, no, I'm not intelligent. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Intelligent are these scientists and these mathematicians and all these people that understand complex, very complex things that I could never wrap my mind around. I mean, look at these engineers and the stuff that they do. And like people that work at NASA. I mean, or even I don't know, take your pick. I mean, there's just lots of brilliant people out there, people that build computers and people that dabble in AI technology and make robots. Those are brainiacs. Those are people that are intelligent. I'm just an average dude that just does stuff my way, doesn't understand much of anything at all, but I have my own system and it works for me. And I've been doing it all my life and I don't see it changing anytime soon, because I have a hard time being taught something. When someone teaches me something, I don't understand it. It took me the longest time when I was a kid to even know how to tell time with a clock. For the longest time as a kid, going through my childhood, I couldn't read a clock. I couldn't tell what time it was. So if I had to be home at a certain time, I had no idea when I had to be there. I just wasn't a smart kid growing up, but yet the things that I did, I was doing things way above and beyond what other kids were doing. While they were riding their bikes and their skateboards, I was coming down the middle of the street with a motorized go-kart that I built. And then they'd all want to ride on it, but they had no idea how to build one. So I was just on a different level. It didn't make me any smarter. It's just that I went my own way. And I still live that way to this day. I do my own thing. So, but I still love to build furniture. I've built lots of different things, park benches, shelving units. There's lots of furniture in this house that's all been built by me. Lots of it. And as long as I can do it, I can't tell people how I do it. I just do it. There is no how. I just do it, like eating. It's just something you do. And that's why I couldn't understand how, if I could build a camper without any blueprint, without any plans, why do other people need plans to do it? Why can't they just do it like I do and just build it out of nothing, just out of their mind? That to me is what I don't understand. But it don't bother me that I can't balance a checkbook. It don't bother me that I don't understand engines or complex things or can comprehend math. It don't bother me, that I can't read a tape measure or even know things about the English language. Like, you know, I remember when I was trying to go for my GED for the 5th time, which I never succeeded at. I failed that test as well. They wanted me to write an essay, and I had no idea what an essay was. So I wrote a letter thinking that maybe a letter is what an essay is. And to this day, I still can't write an essay. So that's why I left school at 15, because it's like, you know, I'm just going to go off in the world. I'm going to do my own thing because I don't understand what it is they want me to know. And they're never going to understand what it is I want to know. And the things that I wanted to know, I taught myself. And it's because something helped me with it. And continues to do so to this day. I can figure out things that I have no experience in, never did it before a day in my life, and I can tackle something I never did, and it'd be the first time I do it, and it turns out perfect after I'm done with it, even though I never tackled it ever before. It's like I could get inside of heavy equipment and spend 10 minutes and I'll figure out how to run that machine without anybody overseeing or schooling me to say, hey, this lever does this lever does that. This is what you got to do. I'll get in that machine. I'll figure it out in just minutes, and I'll be operating it and driving it. I just like learning by myself, doing it my way. So basically, when people tell me things like that in a comment in a video, and though I appreciate the compliment and everything, I don't agree with it. And because intelligence, to me, is like measured when you understand what you're doing, but I don't always understand it. I'm just able to do it. It just works for me. So, but I laugh at the ones that think what they do of me, because it's like, yeah, but you have no idea what I've accomplished in my life, the things I've created and built. And if I could show it all to you at one time, like put it all out on display and say, this is everything I've done, would you still think I'm stupid? Or would you give me a little bit of credit for that? So no, it don't bother me, because I know what I know, and I know that they just don't see the whole picture of what it is that I do or what I'm capable of. So it don't bother me. I kind of laugh at it. Thanks for watching, you guys. We'll see you again. Bye-bye.